it looks like they're queued up, ready to go.
We are wasting no time.
Woo.
Now, the best thing about the World Finals is we get these dream matchups from around the world. On Music Master's pre-tournament interview, he said the player to beat was Adrian Piedra, and he did it himself to reach the semifinals. On the other hand, Wins said that the player to beat was Music Master, and he's gonna have to do that if he wants to move one step closer to wearing that golden crown.
Yeah, well, Wins is going to need to, really defeat, especially when you put that down, that's the guy who I probably practice the most versus, because I'm going to be playing him in this tournament at some point if I want to make it there.
Expo comes down on the left side. If that Expo locks onto the tower, this is going to be over before it begins. Pekka comes down too late. Can he get the Pekka away from his Expo? Tornado, log, no. Expo connects one swing, two swings. Expo goes down, but 1728 is all that remains on top, Wins its top left tower.
Yeah, he let his Expo die there to get the Archer value to kill the Pekka, because he knew that Pekka would have been a huge problem if it walked after it killed both of the Archers. Damage on the tower was more than enough for him in that first engagement.
And it's not even a bad trade, right? You spent 6, they spent 7. You do a bunch of damage to their tower, and you can easily get positive elixir trades against Pekka if given time and opportunity.
Wow, a naked Graveyard coming down the right-hand side, but just like that, Music Master wastes no time. Gonna get an Expo to lock on the left-hand tower, and just like that, Wins is in trouble.
Wow, and the Electro Wizard goes down and locks on again. Log comes through to finish off the Expo, but that tower is down to 10-26 when we are only halfway through regulation time. Music Master dominated Adrian Piedra, one of the tournament favorites, 2-0 in the quarterfinal round. Could he do the same to China's Wins? China has sent 2 players, went deep into the tournament, one in the top 8, one in the top 4. 5,000 miles here to London. They did not come this far to go home early, but Music Master is making it look easy.
Yeah, Pekka comes down on the left-hand side for Wins. Is Music Master going to play defensive Expo? That he does. Pekka is just going to walk into this Expo shots. Let's see how Wings wants to play this. Executioner going to do a lot of work here. Going to clear out the Ice Golem and the beautiful Mega Minion.
Great Tesla placement. It's going to fight at the river. It's going to turn around and hit the skeletons behind the tower. Music Master is playing out of his mind today.
Yeah, the defensive Expo is just going to be too much. There's going to be an Expo on offense. And is this going to connect to the tower?
No, Pekka does block it just barely, but Mega Minion swiping away at Pekka's health as the Expos, both Expos and a Tesla Tower are shooting it. This is unbelievable. Now, Wins' deck is designed to fight other sort of ground-based attackers. Pekka, Electro Wizard, those are defensive for things that are coming across the river towards you. Music Master's deck with the Expo across the river does not ever actually come at you. It just sits there. So it's really tough for Wins to get that defensive value. He's got to use his Pekka as tanks to block the Expo. Oh, and great timing there, blocking the Expo. Once again, we are in overtime. 774 remains on Wins' top left tower.
Yeah, there's a Pekka coming down. There's a Expo and a Tesla destroying this Pekka. He does have this Executioner doing a lot of work, but the Log just getting a little bit of shift damage off. Is the Expo going to survive this and lock onto the tower? This could be it, Rumham!
Oh, he gets it down even lower. Now he has Fireball. Oh, he just needs 2 Fireballs to finish this game off. 2 Logs and a Fireball can also do it, so it kind of depends on how he's going to get his damage in there. Pekka's got to go in the opposite lane. He's got to press where he thinks he can get an advantage. Pekka Graveyard coming in. Archers in the very back to pick off the skeletons. Will the Poison come down to take them out? He's got to Tornado them away, but Tornado's not going to kill him.
No, 140 damage on the left-hand side from the Ice Golem. That's going to put in Fireball range. And
boom!
Just like that, Music Master going up 1-0. Oh man, Rumham, Music Master masterfully playing game number 1.
He played Wins like a fiddle in that battle. So let's get into game number 2. We are playing in Pekka's Playhouse. Music Master, blue and bottom, Wins along the top.
Ooh. Well, here comes an Ice Spirit on the right-hand side for Music Master. Just gonna soak that damage as he drops a Giant on the right-hand side. The second time we're seeing Giant today.
Now, Music Master looks like he might be playing the same deck again. Giant is normally a really good matchup against Expo, but then again, so is like Pekka Executioner Electro Wizard, and it wasn't enough, so maybe he just feels confident in his deck choice.
Yeah, I mean, he is a Siege Specialist, and there's gonna be a Defensive Poison, and that's not what you want to see if you're a Graveyard player. Defensive Poison just chews up the Graveyard.
And yeah, that's a 4 elixir spell that counters the vast majority of your 5 elixir graveyard. You're gonna take a little bit of damage. You can't have it, you know, really do that, but you consider Tesla for 4 countering Giant and Poison for 4 countering Graveyard. You just for 8 elixir counter 10 elixir. That's a pretty good trade.
Yeah, that is a pretty good trade. I'm hoping Music Master doesn't have an Expo because this looks like a heavy, heavy deck from Wins.
And it does look like he's still playing the Expo deck. Giant Bowler is one of the hardest of hard counters to Expo, so he's either got to take this game to a draw or find some very innovative way to turn it around. But this Bowler Bats is bringing it down to triple digits.
Yeah, that one little bat on that right side of the tower just destroyed it. And if you're Music Master right now, what do you even do in this situation? If you drop the Expo, there's like 3 different ways Wins can counter it. Just drop down a Giant, drop down a Bowler, and now he's got a Mega Minion in the back. Wow, Music Master defensive Expo maybe, or does he have a Graveyard? There it is!
A Graveyard deck. It looks so similar to his Expo deck from last time, but here comes the Poison Graveyard. Will this be enough? Did he catch Wins off guard? Defensive Poison does come down to clean up the skeletons though.
Yeah. So good deck choice from Music Master. Just took too much damage early on, and he's gonna have to stop this next Giant because it's double elixir time now.
And I think now I actually feel better about the deck matchup if I'm Music Master, right? Like, I mean, he knew what his deck was, but
yeah.
From the outside looking in, Expo seemed like an unwinnable matchup here, but you can absolutely counter a Giant Bowler push and use that elixir advantage to turn around and do some really good work with Graveyard.
Oh no, the Archers leave! Oh wow, they left him high and dry as the Giant Bowler on the right-hand side is gonna do so much damage, and that's almost an entire tower on the right. Music Master's gonna have to find a way to get one Graveyard that takes his entire tower at this point.
Yeah, the big downside here for using your Poison defensively against Graveyard is you need it offensively with your own Graveyard. Graveyard mirror matches seem to always come down. Oh, great Tornado! He's pulling the Ice Golem out of tower range so that the tower turns and starts shooting skeletons instead of getting stuck on an Ice Golem. However, these skeletons are building up. Wins takes a tower and ties up the match with just a few seconds to go, and we are going to game number 3.
Game number 3, but game number 2 was all Wins. Game number 1, all Music Master.
China has always been very powerful in the international competitions, and they are showing their worth now. Bowler is coming down the right lane against Inferno Dragon. It's a good matchup for Music Master. We'll see what 2 decks they're bringing. Perhaps Wins is playing Splash, you know, like another Graveyard deck, we'll see.
I think Wins tried to think that Music Master was gonna play Siege against them, and he guessed wrong. Bowler and Inferno Dragon, that's not even a Splash here because you don't have the Baby Dragon, but there's a Hog Rider coming in on the left for Music Master, and he's gonna strike first with the first Hog Swing. Oh, at 2!
Wow!
3!
And the bats even get in for a little extra. 1 errant bat to the left of the Hog Rider picked off those goblins one at a time after a zap that allowed that nearly 1,000 damage to get pushed onto Wins' left tower.
923 damage right off the bat, but wow, the goblins even gobble up the tower. 1293 left on the left.
Wins is already saying good game, but I don't know if he feels it's a matchup thing or if just he's given up too much damage and he knows that it's really hard. Defensive Poison comes down to minimize the upside of that Graveyard. It might get a few skeleton pokes here and there, but you're not going to lose your whole tower to it. Here comes Hog Rider. Bowler comes down, though. This Bowler will be incredibly effective against it, especially with Tornado, of course, to take out the bats.
Yeah, the Bowler is probably the hardest counter, Bowler and Tornado versus Hog Rider, but look at his left side tower. That one Bowler that he played early is going to cost them because the Hog Rider did 3-4 shots in the beginning of the game.
And of course, Music Master's deck can cycle very quickly. It has 4 separate cards that cost 2 elixir. You can literally get back to your Hog Rider in 8 elixir, but they don't need it when the goblins are on the tower. Wow. 869 is left. He has Poison, he has Zap, and of course, Hog Rider and a variety of sidekicks to that Hog Rider. This incredibly fast cycle Hog Rider deck, I assume backed up by a Mega Knight in the 8th spot, might be able to squish the Bowler now that we're in double elixir time and do a really huge counterattack. But until then, the Tornado and the Bowler are going to keep it locked down.
Yeah, Bowler and Inferno Dragon here gonna just slowly go. He needs this Graveyard to do a lot of damage with only 47 seconds left. You're only gonna have 2 more Graveyards in the game before it goes into overtime.
Defensive Poison comes down. Bats came out because there's no Zap in Wins' deck, and he'd already used his Tornado, so those Bats did a really good job holding up the Inferno Dragon and just stopping pretty much that huge buildup of mini tanks at the river. Oh no, the Inferno Dragon survived though!
Yeah, the Hog Rider just being played there. Inferno Dragon heats it up, and we're gonna have some fried bacon tonight from him.
1998 left on Music Master's tower. If you'll believe it, he wasn't even born in that year.
Inferno Dragon on defense, just heating up here. Is the Boar gonna get a roll in the tower? Yes, it is. Goblins are gonna take out the Goblins, and there's gonna be a graveyard on offense. Are we gonna see another defensive poison?
He's
Yes,
got to
we
stop
are.
this Inferno Dragon, though. He does have plenty of elixir to do it with, but if that thing gets too much time to heat up, you're going to be in trouble. Bats are already out of cycle, and not much else to attack it. He's slowing down the Inferno Dragon, and it's going to match up really well against the bowler that's about to cross the river. Music Master, we're in overtime. He is so close to turning this game around. He's just going to need one of these big Mega Knight pushes that this deck does so well.
Yeah, is the Bowler gonna roll in the tower? No, it isn't. But this is a huge push. You got a Knight, Mega Minion, Inferno Dragon, and the graveyard once again has to be defensively poisoned. Not what you want to do. Inferno Dragon gonna heat up with the zap.
And the Inferno Dragon blue is going to take out Inferno Dragon red, allowing a clear path because the bowler's distracted. Here comes the Hog Rider. Music Master is so close to putting this away. He's going to need maybe 2 Hog swings, but another Inferno Dragon comes out, and that Hog Rider has not gotten a swing on the tower in several minutes.
No, Knight coming down on the left-hand lane with an Inferno Dragon and a Bowler. Ice Golem to pull it away. But is there going to be a graveyard from Winds? No, he decides to just poison instead, hoping that Music Master would play something on defense with the Hog Rider Goblins. This is not going to be enough.
Poisons go. The Hog Rider might get there for one swing.
Oh
He
my
does.
goodness, he does! Wow. Music Master is so close. He needs a poison and 2 zaps.
365 against 945. Only that much damage. Triple digits separate either of these players from a chance at Clash Royale immortality.
Yeah, he only needs a poison and a zap now that that back connected. Here comes the Hog Rider on the
Bowler's
left-hand
down.
lane.
Poison's down. Will he get the hit? Tornadoed back.
He's got to cycle back to his zap.
Let's count the cards. Poison's down. 1 card. Oh,
2.
here comes graveyard.
Just defend it.
2, 3, 4.
His zap's in his hand. He's gonna take it home. He just lets the Hog Rider take it.
Music Master defeats Winds in 3 games. And Music Master, you are going to the finals of the Clash Royale World Championships. Sandstorm, their single representative in the entire tournament, has made it all the way to the finals.